Title: The Snail That Dreamed of the Moon. Chapter 1. The Dreamer in the Garden. In a tranquil glen, cradled by ancient trees and brimming with flowers that danced in the wind, there lived a humble snail named Silas. Silas was no faster than any other snail, but within his spiral shell beat a heart full of longing and wonder. By day, Silas would munch on clover and bask in the morning dew, but as the sun dipped low and the stars emerged, he would climb the tallest blade of grass and gaze upon the moon. The moon became Silas's closest companion. Its light soothed his thoughts and sparked his dreams. While others napped beneath mushrooms or chattered by lantern-lit petals, Silas imagined himself gliding among stars, leaving behind a shimmering trail of moonlight. He wanted to touch the moon, not just see it. "Dreams are like wings," he often whispered. "Even if you crawl, they can take you anywhere." Chapter 2. The Whispering Wind. One breezy evening, as Silas crept to his usual perch, a strange wind passed through the garden. It carried with it whispers, unfamiliar voices, like music trapped in the air. Among the whispers, Silas heard a name: Orion. The next morning, he set off in search of the source. He traveled beyond the garden gates for the first time, past berry brambles and mossy stones. Along the way, he met curious creatures: a nervous squirrel named Pip, who collected falling stars in acorn caps, a family of moths who illuminated tunnels with their wings, and a patient frog who recited poetry under the moon. Eventually, Pip guided Silas to an ancient oak at the edge of a starlit meadow. High in its branches lived Orion, a grand owl with feathers like galaxy dust and eyes full of wisdom. Chapter 3. The Map of Stars. Orion listened quietly to Silas's tale. "Many have looked to the moon," the owl said, "but few have dared to follow its light." From beneath his wing, Orion drew a shimmering parchment. It sparkled with constellations and glowing runes. "This is the map of stars," he said. "It shows not where the moon is, but how to reach it." Orion explained that the journey would not be through the sky alone, but through realms of dreams, clouds, and memories. Silas would need courage, kindness, and the ability to see with more than just his eyes. Silas accepted the map, and with a gentle nudge from Orion's beak, slid down the tree trunk into the next phase of his journey. Chapter 4. The Dandelion Desert. The first land on the map was the Dandelion Desert, where vast fields of dandelions stretched as far as the eye could see. The air here shimmered, and time moved like molasses. The dandelions whispered secrets to those who passed, often trying to trick or distract travelers. Silas relied on his slow pace and steady nature. He listened kindly, but stayed true to the path. He rescued a caterpillar trapped in sticky fluff, shared stories with drifting pollen ghosts, and learned the song of patience, a melody only snails could hum. One evening, he climbed the tallest dandelion and launched himself into the sky on a gust of trust and wind. Chapter 5. Skybound Adventures. He landed on a floating lily pad in the sea of sky. Here, clouds were boats and stars hummed lullabies. Silas met a strange troop of travelers: a singing bat named Echo, a fish who swam through fog, and a moonbeam herder named Luma. Together they danced through sunbeams, played hide-and-seek with shadows, and followed a crescent moon path that curved gently across the horizon. At night, they camped beneath shooting stars, and Silas told them tales of the garden and how the moon once made the dew taste sweeter. Chapter 6. The Moon's Trial. As they approached the edge of the sea of sky, a gate made of crystal clouds blocked the way. A guardian awaited them, a giant beetle with wings like glass and eyes like mirrors. "To pass," the beetle rumbled, "you must leave behind something precious." Silas hesitated. He thought of his shell, his map, his friends. But then he realized his dreams were not just his own anymore. He removed the star Orion had gifted him and placed it in the beetle's outstretched palm. The gate shimmered open, revealing a staircase of moonlight. Chapter 7. The Moon. Climbing the staircase was the hardest part. Time folded, and Silas remembered every dream he ever had. When he reached the summit, the moon stood before him. Not a cold rock, but a living being. She glowed with kindness, her voice a soft chime. "I have watched you," she said. "You came not to take, but to give. The courage of a slow traveler has lit up the sky. Silas wept, not for sadness, but because he realized he didn't need to touch the moon to know its light. Chapter 8. Home Again. The moon gave Silas a gift, a pebble of her light, and sent him gently drifting back to the garden on a breeze of silver. When he returned, the garden creatures gathered around, eyes wide. He told them everything: the owl, the desert, the lily pad, the moon. They listened, then looked up at the sky differently that night. Silas now lives in the tallest flower in the garden, and every night he climbs it, not because he needs to, but because dreams, once born, never stop growing. And if you pass the garden on a moonlit night, you may hear him humming the song of patience, trailing silver behind him. The end.